In this part of our number guess app project, we're going to continue working on our checkGuess function. We'll add some more conditional code to compare the user's guess to our secret target number to see if they've guessed our number. If they have, we'll give them some feedback. We'll increase the score by 1 and we'll end the game. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. Scroll down in your code to line 78 and let's start out with a comment. Type 2 backslashes and a space. This next chunk of code is going to be conditional code to check if the guess is correct and change feedback. Go ahead and tap return at the end of that line. On line 79, let's add some more conditional code. So go ahead and type in the keyword if. You'll see that pop up on your code snippets. Go ahead and tap return and then put in a space. Next, we want our variable guess. You should also see that popping up on your code snippets. Go ahead and tap return and put in a space. We are checking to see if guess is equal to, so we need 2 equal signs. In Swift, 2 equal signs means equals. If our guess is equal to the value that's being held in our variable called target number. You should see target number popping up on your code snippets as soon as you start typing that. Go ahead and tap return when you see that. And then put in a space. And we need an opening curly brace. That will give us a closing curly brace. That will also take care of our error messages. All right, so we have some conditional code. We are checking the condition. Is the guess equal to the target number? If that is true, we are going to do what's inside of our curly braces. If it is not true, we'll skip the code that's inside the curly braces. Right now, let's go ahead and tap return to move that closing curly brace down another line. All right, if our user has guessed our secret number, the target number, we are going to change our feedback. So let's start with our variable called feedback. When that pops up on your code snippets, go ahead and tap return to insert that code. We need our assignment operator, or the equal sign, to mean we're going to assign the value or set the new value of feedback to what we type over on the right side. And we're going to type a string over here. So leave a space, and then we need a quotation mark. Since it's going to be a string, that'll give us a closing quotation mark. Inside those quotation marks, we're going to give the user some positive feedback. They've guessed our number. We might want to go ahead and maybe use an emoji. So we might want that celebratory emoji. Let's go ahead and type one of those and a space, maybe something like yay, maybe another celebratory emoji and a space, maybe a dash. You guessed my number. And an exclamation. That's pretty exciting that they got our number. Then go ahead and tap behind that closing quotation mark. Tap return. Let's add a comment on line 81. Start with 2 backslashes and a space. This next chunk of code is going to increase the score for a correct guess by 1. When you finish typing that comment, go ahead and tap return. On line 82, we're going to type our code to increment our score. So let's type score. That's one of our variables. When you see it pop up on your code snippets, go ahead and tap return and then a space. And we're going to add 1 to the current value of score. So type plus equals a space and 1. So to get the new value of score, we will add 1 to the current value of score. Go ahead and tap return at the end of line 82. And on line 83, we need another comment. So start with 2 backslashes and a space. This next chunk of code will end the game. So if our user has guessed the correct number, we change our feedback shown on the screen. Yay, You guessed my number, will increase the score by 1 for the correct guess. And now we're going to change the value of our variable game over. So go ahead and tap return after that comment. And on line 84, let's type game over. That's our variable that's holding the value that shows whether or not our game is active or over. When you see that pop up on the code snippets, go ahead and tap return. Game over is a Boolean variable, meaning that the value is either true or false. Go ahead and put a space and the assignment operator. We're going to assign the value or set the value for game over to true. If our game is now over, we want that value to be true at this point. While the game was active, the value was false. Go ahead and tap return when you see true on your code snippets list. That'll take care of our error messages. And that also wraps up this chunk of our conditional code. We're still in our checkGuess function. We've checked for a valid number. We gave some feedback if that value was not valid. We increased the guess count. We checked to see if the guess was correct, if it was our target number. If it was, we gave some feedback and we increased the score and we set the game over value to true. If the guess does not equal the target number value, then we'll skip everything that's in the code inside of the curly braces. And in the next part of our number guess app project, we'll take a look at what our next condition is to check for if our user has not guessed the number.